being an art student, there were a lot of girls coming over. I thought he's pretty much a regular guy who's doing his thing. It never occurred to me also that he could be gay.
मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा कि मैं हूँ हीरो तेरा.
Tells me, Mama, I want to become Barbie doll. I went to this, there was one shop. So there I had seen these mannequins, wearing wigs.
So he was doing everything that what we perceive a regular guy. Karan had told me a couple of days earlier that Sushant attends gay parties. I did not confront him. I just very casually asked him. So he, without batting an eyelid, said, "Here's that, I'm gay." The first thing I did is I gave him a big hug and I told him, "Sushant, it doesn't really matter whether you're gay or you're straight or anything. You're my son and my love for you is unconditional.
Yeah.
But never ever you faggot or something is not a term that I would ever use. Not once will we cross the line or not once will we cross the line of calling him names, name calling him the Pope." He said, "I mean, they are also children of God. I mean, we all are children of God. They have a right to exist. They have a right because they feel that there's shame. They feel the stigma. They feel that these are criminals."
How are you and uncle so okay about it? Tell me a little bit about the educator family, growing up years of Sushant and his brother. How was life 10, 15, 20 years back?
Sushant and Karan had a normal childhood like most middle class family kids would have. Both of them, the growing years were fun between them. Karan was more attracted to stuff like G.I. Joe and all the toys then that were in vogue. And Sushant was more the soft. I mean, his taste was a little more soft. He had the largest collection of Barbie dolls. That's what he was attracted to growing up. And Sushant continued in ABI. He was getting good ranks. He was quite a popular kid. He used to sing well. So that came to him naturally. Singing came to him naturally.
In fact, they had this fancy dress. So the previous night he tells me, "Mama, I want to become Barbie doll." I said, "Oh my God, no, where do I get all this?" So my neighbor's frock. And I went to this, so there I had seen these mannequins, wearing wigs. So I went in the night and I told that guy, "Can you lend it to me?" He said, "But tomorrow we need to put it on the mannequin." So I said, "It's okay, I'll bring it to you. His school starts at whatever time, 10:30 I'll open, and I'll give it back to you." So I took the wig and then we made him Barbie doll and he had high fever, but he still went. He just wanted to be a Barbie doll.
It's so weird when I think of this. We encourage our girls, and I have 2 daughters. If they are playing with He-Man or G.I. Joe, whatever the variation now is, we never have a problem. But if a boy is playing with a Barbie doll or wants to be a Barbie doll, the mother's always second guessing. Is everything okay? Is he okay? We're just so tuned like this. Did those thoughts occur to you that why does my child select Barbie doll and wants to be a Barbie doll at a fancy? Or you just took it very casually? Did it bother you?
He wants to be a Barbie doll. There are so many people, there are so many men who are very good dancers, but they're not gay.
Then Karan moved to boarding school, Sushant was growing up, he finished his graduation. Did you have any thoughts? Did he say what he wanted to be? Did he say he wants to pursue singing? Was there thought of
Actually, my mother was a good singer and she wanted him to learn singing.
Okay.
So when he was 5 years old, my dad had taken him to one person who lives in Santa Cruz. So he had just taught him small ragas and he didn't know how to write. So my dad used to go with him, write those, bring it home. My mother used to tell Sushant and that's how he learned the basic ragas.
Right. So did he say after his college, after 10th grade, that I want to be a singer? Like what was life after 10th grade?
No, so he was very active on the social circuit of the college, in the sense he was participating on the the college festivals.
Yeah.
For one, like he was there at the, which is the Malhar. He was first runner-up or second runner-up in singing along with his Akasa Singh was also now a very popular singer. They both sang together in a cappella or something. They were singing. Then at Kaleidoscope of Sophia College, he won the Mr. whatever contest.
Yeah.
So he was taking part in pageants and he was also expressing his musical talent.
Yeah.
So he was busy. I mean, we weren't even following. So then, along the way, then I started taking him actually when a few karaoke bars started opening up. So I started taking him to the karaoke bars, and he would sing. That time I remember Backstreet Boys. He would sing very well. And the great thing that happened to Sushant is even after he became 17 or 18 or something, his falsetto his falsetto came to the fore. He was able to sing in the female falsetto very effortlessly. Like many other people who sing in a female voice, they actually make an effort to go.
Yeah.
But for Sushant, he kind of seamlessly transforms into a female falsetto.
Sushant has been very diligent about whatever. Like you said, the Barbie doll, he was unwell, but he said, I am going. Coming back to this, he's been very passionate about.
Yeah, he realized somewhere that singing is calling in a manner of singing. Now he does so many things. Now singing is one of the many things that he does now. He's pretty much an influential voice for the community that is the LGBTQI plus. I mean, he's a voice which is respected, and he loves that kind of it's not important, it's the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
And because he is now transformed now, so every step of his way, I think where we come in is we have never ever hampered his progress or his thoughts.
And I already shared with you when we were chatting, right, that one of the biggest reasons for me to reach out to you guys, I've seen you guys on Sushant's Instagram page, I've seen interviews, and the calm on your face.
As children, and we have owned those talents. We are not bothered about their, personal lives.
Yeah.
We just.
Ranti, that comes out of huge amount of being secure yourself as a person to accept somebody else and not be bothered about what the rest of the world thinks. You said the coming out story was
that's interesting. So when Sushant was in college at Deccan, so he was doing everything that what we perceive a regular guy. Being an art student, there were a lot of girls coming over, there were stayovers and all that. So I thought he's pretty much a regular guy who was doing his thing. And like I said, he was participating in a lot of competitions where he was going for the Mr. This and Mr. Mitibai, Mr. Kaleidoscope, he went for Xavier, and he would finish in the top 3 and he was
even
singing. AVM, Mr. AVM, the sports captain. So he was doing everything right, and not for a moment, it never occurred to me also that he could be gay.
Hara Hara Shambho Shambho Shiva Mahadeva Shambho Shambho.
Now we were not ignorant about there being gay persons or there are lesbians in this world, there are gays, trans, I was not aware so much about trans. We would see them on the signals and all that, but I wasn't so much aware about bisexuals and all that. I mean, our knowledge was very perfunctory, and I never bothered about reading. I still don't read too much. Too much I don't read, because that's why I think my mind is very clear and I'm very accepting of any and everybody. I mean, that as parents, even Sushant's friends and all feel very welcome, and they know even in their own homes, if they feel caged. Sushant and I were sharing the bed, and Karan was also around. Karan had told me a couple of days earlier that Dad, Sushant attends gay parties. These exactly were his words. So I just to disarm him and just listen. So what if he attends gay parties? So what are you trying to say? He stopped short of saying that Sushant is gay and therefore you all attend, because otherwise who else would attend a gay party? Of course, now I go for the after parties after the Pride Walk and all that. Almost everybody is gay except a few parents and all. But otherwise, gay parties generally gay person will go, people from the community will go. It's not a close thing, but then that's the belief and he would attend. So I said, so what? So then after 2 days, it just so happened typically in the night, I was reading the paper, I think, and maybe once I finished it, seeing the messages, and he was on his mobile, furiously typing and all that. So I just finished reading my paper, and before I could actually hit the sack, like they say, I asked him, Sushant, I have a query. I did not confront him. I just very casually asked him, I told you attend gay parties, are you gay? So this is the exact conversation. It all got over in less than a minute and a half. So he, without batting an eyelid, said, here's that, I'm gay. And I attend gay parties. In fact, I want to come out to you, but since you asked, so in a manner of speaking, I eased him out of the closet. So when he said that, I was taken aback. I mean, I'll be lying to you if I say that it's not as if the heavens fell on me and I felt my what's happened and I hope the world, I mean, there's a big divot and it just follows me. None of that happened. I just said, is it some fad you're following? Because, we used to also believe that there are so many fads which happen, right?
Yeah.
It's a fashionable thing to be gay. I asked him, is it a fad or something, or are you? He said, no, Dad, and he said it with more emphasis, emphatically. So he had a mind of his own. Even then he was just barely 17, 18, but he said, no, Dad, I am gay. In fact, I want to come out to you, but since you are asking, so that's what it is, I am gay. So till then I had no knowledge about how a gay would, about gay relationships and all that. I had confronted a lot of gays that hit on me and stuff like that in my growing years. So I was aware of what a homosexual is or what a gay is or whatever. So I just immediately, the first thing I did is I gave him a big hug and I told him, Sushant, it doesn't really matter whether you're gay or you're straight or anything. You're my son and my love for you is unconditional. And in fact, from today, he had just started performing then. He had kind of earned a reputation as a popular karaoke singer and stuff like that. So he was now making public appearances. I said, from today, my support for you will be manifold, will grow manifold. In fact, I'll be more protective because that is a time, it happened at a time when that the law of that's Article 377 still hadn't even been decriminalized by Delhi High Court did it in 2009, if you remember.
Yeah.
So this is somewhere before 2009. So till then, even consensual sexual relationship between men, it was considered to be against the order of nature and carnal and all, and it was considered to be a crime. So they were sitting ducks for someone who wanted to law enforcement agencies who wanted to bully or extract money. And that was happening, right? It used to be in the papers, stuff like that. Thankfully, I mean, his coming to realize that he's gay and all happened at a time when things were okay. But that time, people were not coming around harshly, but the law had to change. In 2009, actually, Delhi High Court for 4 years, they passed an order which stayed for 4 years and again it was reversed. And again, that became taboo. Like 377 again got its teeth till 2018 when the Supreme Court actually decriminalized all these provisions of the section 377. So I said, since this is still in existence, I was aware of that, mindful of that. I mean, I never till then had read, but you read in passing. I said, I started accompanying, both of us accompanying him for all his shows and all, to let people know that we are perfectly okay with his orientation, his sexuality, call it what
So tell me, after you got to know, did Sushant break the news to you or did he share it with you? And what was your reaction?
I think he just mentioned it and I said, okay, fine.
Auntie, how are you and uncle so okay about it? Like, I know that's how it should be, but I'm again asking this because I really wish, and I said this to you earlier, right? There was an 11th grader who thought it was easier for her to end her life versus come out of the closet. What do you think builds into children that makes them this scared, and how can parents sort of support it?
So I'll jump in here. When she says they've left home is, they haven't left home in protest or this. Many of them have actually come to Mumbai
to make a living.
To earn a living actually. And then they also realize that, their sexuality, their orientation, and they are worried whether their parents even know what being gay is.
Yeah.
Because for them, the only relationship, only normal relationship is a heteronormal relationship. It's a boy and a girl and stuff like that. They feel that they can't even look beyond that. And maybe that's true also to a great extent. We brought that child into this world.
Yeah.
There's no way you can desert that child and say, now fend for yourself. Because many parents give this threat of disinheritance, I'll throw you out of the house. And that will happen to a lot of children.
Yeah.
What it does, it makes them more vulnerable to other people attacking.
Right.
As it is, we live in a world because still there are people who are very, very, not despotic, but let's say they are bigoted.
Yeah.
And they still are not able to make peace with the fact that this is a community which needs their space. You don't have to show any favors. They are not asking for favors. They are asking for equal opportunities.
Yeah.
Equal rights is what they are asking. So another point I'm making, everybody is journey towards acceptance has not been the same.
Yeah.
This is one thing you must realize, we all must realize. The way I brought my son up, good, bad or ugly, is not exactly the way he would or you would your daughters. I mean, we all have our own ways. I mean, we find our ways. I mean, we kind of discover, we try to figure it out, and then you get the right fix. There are no fixed rules. But one rule I said is for parents, whenever I talk to them, that child is your child. I don't even want to know the sexual orientation, whether your child is this, that or the other. The least you owe is unconditional love. I think that there's no way we can actually run away from that responsibility. If you leave that child in the lurch, you're actually shirking your own responsibilities. This is my very simple, and I really keep it simple, and that's why it works well. So I said, if I'm not going to support my child, and if I expect some corporate, like she's saying, a lot of corporates are doing a great job. But if you're not going to be supportive, and the child cannot bring himself or herself, her whole self to the organization and work, even there, that child is going to work in fear. That I don't know if my boss hates, whenever any movies are shown, they caricature and they make fun of someone who's gay or this and all. I don't want to come out, I'm scared. So that fear should go. Once the fear goes, they are more expressive. They are living a life like each one of us. We all have a right. It's all about equality.
Right.
I was never judgmental, and I'm not going to be judgmental. And I told him, and I said this innumerable times, I'm never going to be tired of saying this. Never ever will I ever make a disparaging remark, hey you gay or something like that. I won't use that word, or hey you transgender or something, in a very derogatory manner. The whole idea is that he's aware of that. You could get angry, you're an idiot, you can call him, you may call him, how could you have done such an idiotic thing, or something you may just say it in passing.
Right.
But never ever you faggot or something is not a term that I would ever use.
Yeah.
That he knows, and I've given him that confidence, even she has given that confidence. Never ever do we, there could be a discussion, or there could be a debate, or there could be an argument.
मेरे ढोल जुदाइयां ने तैनू खबर किवें होवे आ जावे दिल तेरा पूरा भी ना होवे.
And one is to go out into a world which is like a jungle where everybody is a lion coming out for the hunt. How do you prepare your child and yourself to say that what people are saying, how do you not let it get to you?
Like I said, when I gave him a hug, I mentioned this.
Yeah.
I told him now I'll be even more protective, because I knew then the law was against them. Now for the laws with them, even 2013, when 9 to 13 was a good period for them, it had been decriminalized to a great extent. But again, 2013, Delhi High Court again reversed its decision, and then the appeal was filed in Supreme Court, which actually disposed of the petition by decriminalizing. It's a Victorian age, law which needed the passage of time. And I tell you, even Indian society has evolved. Today, nobody makes fun, and even if he walks on the road, there would be, there could have been, let's say about 40, 50 years ago, I'm 66. Perhaps I don't think the response of people would have been the same. Right. I'm just saying, when I just jog my memory back of the people who were my seniors and all, I don't know if they would have been able to take it in the same spirit that we've been able to absorb it. And today's now generation, whether they're youngsters, our neighbors and everybody, nobody, Sushant has come, close your door and all. Now that happens.
No, in fact,
they celebrate
proud.
They celebrate it. So I'm just saying, people would be worried, right? He's a bad influencer. None of that. He's not bad, he's celebrated. They are happy whenever any friends come or any relatives say, Sushant Chine or something, my neighbor Gujarati, for example. So they all want to come and take a picture, and so it's like that, which I feel is damn good. So time is the greatest leveler, and I think today they are being accepted, and Sushant is doing his bit, and so are so many. I mean, there are so many young persons from the community who are working untiringly. Now the older people are now taking a step back, and the younger people are not aggressive, not in a negative way, they are aggressive in a positive way. They want to make their presence felt. Now, pink money is also important. Now, like they say, these people go and spend in certain places. The sad part is, I still feel that those society, those corporates are all coming in, but if you want to organize an event of an LGBTQI, people don't come in pouring money. Or I'll tell you, still, there are certain places, certain magazines, your community magazines will not mention. Now, I don't have a grouse against my community magazine, but there's not been a mention of it. And I'm the last guy to go and say, because it's not as I'm dying to see his name in our community magazine.
Yeah.
But he is quite an achiever.
Yeah.
Again, let modesty desert me. I'm seeing it as an outsider.
Yeah.
There's not a mention of him, and I know where this comes from.
That's
They're
not
uneased.
But
They're
he
uneased.
is
It doesn't hurt.
celebrated.
I actually feel bad for them because you're not celebrating one
Yeah,
of
they
you.
don't know what
Believe
it
me,
is.
I'm not saying it sarcastically. I actually feel without anger, without animus, and without any hate. I feel people from the community, from my community also, as in this, have all accepted are wonderful people. But somehow, even I'll say my club, I'm not afraid to say this. I've not seen a single mention of Sushant on my club notice board. He's a life member himself. We made him a life member, so he's a member himself. So aren't you reading about him? It comes in the papers. I share with so many people, not for them to put it on the club board, but so many things I see. Someone went and won something somewhere. Someone did something small. I mean, it's of little interest to me. But he's an achiever. They all celebrate this. But I still feel there are certain places where it's still holding them back. But like I said,
it's a matter
society,
of time.
it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
We are evolving and evolving for the better. The stigma and all part is now over to a great extent. There may be, like I said, some people, when you see them on television also, they are bigoted people who come. But by and large, from across the political spectrum, they are all very friendly. The Chief Justice of India today was one of the authors of that landmark judgment.
Yes.
Justice Chandrachud wrote, he was one of the 5 judges. So he is the Pope. Represent the Roman Catholics when the Catholic Church also used to hate people on the LGBT. But he said they were right, of course. He's their biggest votary. He said, I mean, they are also children of God. I mean, we all are children of God. They have a right to exist. They have a life, and you shouldn't be discriminated.
Right.
So the whole battle is basically against discrimination and to be given equal opportunities, which I think that battle is ongoing. And still they are fighting for a lot of rights. As I speak in India, still, marriage and all is still not on. Another thing, they are wonderful parents. You see a lot of persons, they've gone overseas, they've got married, or they've brought up a child.
A lot of them are.
And they're not allowed to even over here, adopt a child as singularly you can, but as a pair you can't, because you're not officially here. There are so many issues. And that's where I think I would like to give a pat on my back that I want to talk is that somebody else's child who is bisexual, or somebody else's child who is a transgender, or somebody else's child who is a gay. I don't treat that person separately. How is he? I mean, he's a gay, keep him away. No. In fact, you should be very embracing and open, like he's any other child. He's welcome. And therefore, many of them say this also, and even Sushant, our house is an open house. Now lesser people come because Sushant is very busy traveling and he's not there. It makes it very awkward for them to come and visit us and all that. But otherwise, there was a time when almost every day there was some friend or the other who would come. And they were all welcome. And there are many parents like us. It's not, you're interviewing me, but I must say this, that, everybody's journey, like I said, has been different. Ultimately, the ultimate goal is acceptance. But there have been some parents like us who have accepted their kids at the first time they got to know, they said, of course, I mean, you're my child. But there are other people who have gone through psychological sessions.
There are many times when the parent has not accepted.
Administered,
so the mother is always accepting. So the mother has to then break it to the father. And there are many cases.
That's also a fact. One parent has accepted, the other parent hasn't been informed. They are scared that all hell will break loose, like you said, this child.
So the mother understands. So that's why the child has gone to the mother, or the mother has found out, or whatever, but the mother's there.
A typical reaction
so most of
a mother.
Sweetheart, I think, except for him and another, all were all ladies.
A lot of mothers there,
Mothers.
but there are fathers also. So they say also their husbands and all have accepted. I know a lot of them when their husbands have accepted, just that the ladies have taken they've taken the
Because
initiative and
they
they're
can
there. I'm
confess
one of the few fathers who's there, but that's okay. But the point is, the mothers also are doing the bit, and they say this also. Many mothers are saying, children come and say, the mother says to the child, I'm okay, you're gay, I know about it, but don't let your father. In fact, that Evening Shadows movie also, there was this point. The father won't be able to handle it, and he really can't handle it. He goes ballistic, he goes berserk when he gets to know, like, I mean, how the hell can even a son think about this?
Right.
So the mother says, I'm okay, no.
Yeah.
for you. I mean, isn't that enough?
Yeah.
So here in real life also, a lot of mothers say that even I'm talking about the people who are modern, progressive otherwise, but they are very archaic when it comes to this. Their thought process is pretty negative because they feel that there's shame, they feel there's stigma, they feel that these are criminals.
Right.
Because the law was such, 377 made it look like this is against the order of nature.
Yeah.
Once you get that out of your mind, that this person is born like this and he or she has no control. It's not as, like I asked a stupid question and I keep saying this. I actually admonish myself, I mean when I'm alone I say, why the hell did I ask this question? Is it some kind of fad or something? It's an Indian question. Because when you look back, why would someone say this out to be fashionable?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I had gone with him to one, some sadhu had called him. And he said, I will teach you yoga, you know.
You get rid of it and all that
okay,
rubbish.
yeah. So then he said, okay, tell me. And then I was sitting in the car around, then he called me and he told him, my mother has no problem. So what does yoga got to do with it?
Yeah.
So then even a lot of people feel that it can be cured and it's
It
not
can
a
be cured.
disease.
Yeah, so first of all, when you see it as a malaise or a disease,
Disease.
then you're barking up the wrong tree.
So then you have to tell them that what are you talking about? I mean, do you know anything about it?
Yeah.
And what is, he's just my son.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
Yeah.
what else you want? And he's got all the best qualities.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
I mean, as parents, we always want our kids to be successful, and success unfortunately comes either with fame, money. Those are the metrics of success that
Yes,
society
sure.
has formed.
Sure.
Were you, as a parent, ever insecure that how will he be successful?
Correct. Now I knew would never do a regular 9 to 5 job. So I also knew that he has a career waiting for him in the world of performing arts or in glamour is a bad word again. Not glamour, in showbiz, call it what you may. Because that is what he is capable of, singing talents. It's basically, he will have to capitalize, he will have to become a professional singer. Now of course he'll become a drag artist where he's going to dance and perform and stuff like that. That's a whole new world. It's a performing art.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of into it in a big way and pretty much a master of it. He went for the Queen of the Universe contest and he was in the top 4, which was huge in terms of real international acclaim or
But
achievement.
in
If
the
you ask me, that's the
beginning,
biggest.
he's also a psychologist.
He studied psychology.
He
He's an
studied
Indian psychology.
psychology. And so in the beginning, just so that we would, it means come out to the world. So he knew someone in Godrej. We used to go there and we used to take
Sessions over there. He was
sessions
taking
on
every Saturday.
exercise and how to, So that way, that whole group was in love with him. Then slowly he started, I told him start writing in the newspaper.
Blogs, then
So he was writing in the newspaper columns.
like you have an agni aunt.
He was writing columns. So slowly, I used to tell him, you do this also. You're a
You got a flair
psychologist.
for writing, yes.
So when you have to put that also into use, you spend so many years. He's done masters.
Oh.
So I said, when you have to have something to fall back on, no? So you also push that.
Thank you so much for doing this.
For parenting tips, celebrity interviews, recipes, conversations with experts, DIYs, and lots more. Subscribe to Kids Talk Press now.